Hey folks, welcome back to another video. In this tutorial, we'll explore ADK, Agent Development Kit by Google, by building a practical and engaging project, a conversation agent that manages your Google tasks. You'll see firsthand how ADK simplifies the process of integrating external APIs and giving your AI a tangible way to assist you. ADK is a framework that lets developers like us build AI powered agents capable of understanding requests and interacting with external services. Here's what we'll cover in this tutorial together. A gentle introduction to the core concepts of Google's ADK, Agent Development Kit, the essential steps to authorize your application to access your Google Tasks data securely using OAuth 2.0. We'll then look at how to transform regular Python functions into tools that your ADK agent can use to list, add, and complete your tasks in Google Tasks. We'll then look at running our agent and interacting with it to manage our to-do list app. Before we dive into building our intelligent Google Tasks agent, let's make sure you have all the necessary tools and configurations in place. Following these steps carefully will ensure a smooth development experience. Uh, our agent will be written in Python, and if you don't have Python installed or have an older version, head over to the official Python website to download and install the latest version suitable for your operating system. I would recommend 3.12, that's what I think using as of now. After that, you require a Google Cloud project because that's where you're going to be enabling your Google Tasks API, and that will basically house our API configurations and credentials. After which, you just have to enable the Google Tasks API and install the required libraries using this particular command. If you want a written part of this tutorial, all the commands and all these links are mentioned in a blog that I've linked in the description. You can check that out. But once you're done with this setup, this is what my file structure looks like, or my folder file structure looks like right now. I have all my projects and I have individual agents here for each task that I'm doing. So currently I'm working on the Google Tasks agent. That's what we're going to be working on today. I have my credentials.json that I've installed from the Cloud Console. You can check out the steps that you need to get this particular file in the article. Other than that, I have my .env file where I've stored my API key, my project number, and the location and stuff. Now, in case you're using Vertex AI, you would want to shift this to 1. But for now, we're going to be just sticking to calling Gemini from the API key. And I'm going to go back to my agent.py. And the first thing that I'm going to be doing is having a lot of imports. And these are the imports that are going to be there. After which, I'm going to be entering the model, the scopes, the token file, etc. And once we are done, I'm going to be putting in the first function that we're going to be using. That's going to be helping us with the authentication part while we're interacting with the Google Tasks API. So we start off by checking if our token pickle file is existing or not, and if it does, it tries to load the store credentials using the pickle.load function that's there here. And in case the credentials are loaded but expired, it attempts to do a simple refresh using the refresh request command. If the refreshing fails or no credentials are found, we trigger a full OAuth 2.0 flow, and before that we check if the credentials file still exists, and if it exists, we use it, and if we check if it contains the essential information that we need for authentication. We then use that to load the config and start a local server, which opens a browser window prompting the user to sign in and authorize access. And I think once the user grants access, the flow captures the authorization code, it exchanges it for access and refresh tokens and stores them securely in the token.json file using the pickle.dump function for future sessions. And finally, with that, with the valid credentials in hand, we built the Google Tasks API service using the build function here. And this is what enables the authenticated interactions with the API. We're going to be working with is the fetch and cache tasks function. So basically, when a user wants to complete a task, it's far more easy for them to say complete task number 2 or complete task number 5 rather than recalling the full task description or the task name, right? So to facilitate this, we'll implement a simple in-memory caching system. So for each user query where tasks are listed, we'll fetch the current list of non-completed tasks, store a simplified version of these tasks, and then create a mapping from user-friendly numbers to their actual Google Tasks IDs. And this cache is typically refreshed each time the list tasks function or the list task tool is used. Now we'll define the Python functions that our ADK will use as tools. Remember, ADK uses function signatures and doc strings to understand what these tools do. So it's always a good practice to have information stored in the doc strings about the functions, about the variables that it's accepting in case it's doing that. But let's move to the first function that we're going to be working on that ADK is going to be using as tools is the list task function. So as a user, I can ask the agent to list all the tasks for today. And this is the list task function. It calls the get task service function to ensure we have an authenticated API service object followed by calling the fetch and cache tasks function to refresh our local view of the tasks. It formats the tasks from the task list cache into a friendly user string, assigning simple numbers to each of them. After which we move on to the next function that's going to be the add task function. That's basically going to be giving the ability to a user to add a new task. It takes a description for the new task and it creates a task body as required by the Google Tasks API. After which making an API call to create the tasks. That's what we're going to be doing here. And it crucially sets the task underscore list cache equal to none to invalidate our caches because the list of tasks has changed now. So the next call to the list tasks will fetch the fresh list. After which we'll move on to the last function that's going to be the complete task function. So we're going to be providing three main functionalities: listing, adding, and completing your tasks in Google Tasks. This function marks a task as complete using the numerical ID obtained from our cached list. To mark a task as completed, the function first checks if the task ID map exists. If not, it calls the fetch and cache tasks function to populate it, ensuring robustness even if tasks weren't listed beforehand. It retrieves the Google Task ID using the provided task number and checks if the task is already completed. If not, it uses the Google Tasks API's update function to update the task status to completed. It then invalidates the cache to reflect the updated task list. The function returns a confirmation or an informative message. And before we wrap this function up, normally it's a very good idea to test them individually to ensure if your Google Tasks API integration is working correctly. So this completes our core API interaction logic, and we have now a set of Python functions that can manage Google Tasks, complete with authentication and a user-friendly caching system for task identification. Now in terms of setting up ADK tools are simply your Python functions. There's going to be list task, add task, and complete task. So to guide our agent's behavior, we have to first provide it with a system instruction, often called a system prompt. So I'm going to start off by putting in the system instructions here. I'm going to close this. And you can see it starts off by you are a helpful to-do list assistant that interacts with Google Tasks. You have the tools to add, list, and complete tasks. You can pause the video and read on the prompt. But this basically is an instruction set that defines, like, it's the main core programming of your agent. It clearly defines a persona, goal, the available tools, and a brief description of what they do and what parameters they could expect. Now that we're done with that, we're going to be defining the ADK agent instance, and that's going to be looking something like this, where you say root underscore agent is equal to agent. You give the model that we gave, you give it a suitable name, and you give it a description. And in the description, you can pass in the instruction set. In some other cases, people pass the instruction set separately. You can even do that. And in the end, you can come down to the tools section and list all your Python functions that you want the model or the agent to use to achieve the particular goal. And our code is complete and good to go. And the first thing that we're going to be doing is our initial authentication is complete, or if not, you can do that because my part is already done. And just go ahead and run the following command: ADK web. On running the ADK web command, you can see the ADK web server has started, and I'm going to go and access it quickly. And it's going to be looking something like this. That's the dev UI. So this is where you can test your agents and interact with them in the web. So you don't need to spend time working on an UI. You can completely have your focus on the main working of your AI agent. So I'm going to go ahead here, and this provides me the functionality to choose between multiple agents that I've built in my folder. I can put that at the side too. But I'm going to go ahead and select the Google Tasks agent. Just going to minimize that. And the first thing that I'm going to just say is, hey. And it starts out by saying, I can help you manage your to-do list. Do you want to add a task, list, or complete one? I think I'm going to start by saying just list. Say list my tasks. Alright, it's telling me it's using the list task function. That's a tick mark, and you can see it has successfully fetched my pending tasks only. It has given me the first 6 ones. So let's say I want to complete task 6. I'm done cleaning the roof or fixing the roof. I'm going to click on enter. It tells me it's using the complete task function, and it's done. So it's saying, okay, task fix the roof has been marked as completed. Anything else? I'm going to ask if it's updating it in my cache list and whether it's fetching it once a task is completed or not. So I'm going to say list tasks, and I want to see there should be 5 tasks. And if I scroll down, yes, there are only 5 tasks. So you can see our agent is successfully working, and it's able to perform actions by receiving commands in natural language. So that's one key takeaway that you should be taking from this video, is it's so easy to integrate an external API and service and build an AI agent with Agent Development Kit. You can see if your agents are more complicated, you can see the states and artifacts if there are some details shared. If you have in session memory and in artifact memory service, you can get those details. Other than that, you can see all the events, you can see today, you can do other details, and this is what it looks like here. You can always delete this one and just create a new session. You can get the session ID from here. And this is the ADK web UI dev, where you can basically test your agents, and this makes the process extremely easy and fun to build agents with. So this is where we come to an end for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got enough information on how to build an AI agent with ADK. I'll be leaving the code and the article link in the description. You can check that out. Keep the video as a reference, but I have given detailed steps in the article on how to enable the API and fetch the credentials.json file. You can check that out. If you like this video, then don't forget to like, share, and for more content, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.